Hey, it's Joe, and I've got another great smarter dating tip just for you. Today, we're going to talk about the number one obstacle, which is probably preventing you from having exactly what it is that you want in your love life. Now, we're not talking about having another relationship. We know you've had plenty of those, and they haven't worked out too well, have they? We've all been there. But if you get real, what you're really looking for is intimacy. That soul connection. Some people call it their soulmate, where emotionally, physically, and spiritually, you are so connected to a man that you are just filled up inside. And that no matter what happens, is that he's got your back and you've got yours. Now, part of the inherent challenge is that in order to have that, you've got to do this one thing. And this one thing is scary as hell. Because there's been times in your life where you have opened up. And this can go back way back into when you were a child. And what happened is your heart got ripped out. It got trampled on. It got broken into pieces. And you've learned that when I truly open up and I give of myself, it causes me pain. Now this is, believe it or not, embedded into your DNA, actually into the neurons in your brain. And so unconsciously you're living out this, I don't want to say it's a lie because it's true to you, but it's a distorted version of reality. And unfortunately, you believe this is true and you live this is true and you look for evidence and you pick guys that just keeps reinforcing it. And so in order to get the intimacy that you're really looking for, you've got to do this one thing. And that one thing, care to guess what it is? Is to become vulnerable. It's to open yourself up, to allow a man to see who you really are. And part of the inherent challenge with that is that you're afraid of that vulnerability. You're afraid that it's going to cause you pain again. And so emotionally, there's a part of you that although you say you want it, is going, no way, been there, done that. It's too painful. Don't want to do it again. And that's completely understandable. Anybody who's walked in those shoes and who's experienced heartache like that can understand. And this is the big conundrum. Okay, is that you will never ever have the type of intimacy you're really looking for without being vulnerable. Because I can trust me on this. This is something us men sense and smell from a mile away. So if you're the type of woman who doesn't allow herself to be truly vulnerable, and there are signs of it. Okay, there are definitely things that we pick up on. Women who are jealous, women who are insecure, women who are controlling. Women who try and make us into who they want us to be instead of allowing us to be who we really are. All of these things are indications to us of a woman who's not really open, who's not willing to be vulnerable. And so energetically, we pick up on this and we run because that's not what we want. So in order for you to have the intimacy that you're really looking for, you've got to open yourself up and be vulnerable. So think of it a lot like this. It's a lot like jumping out of an airplane. Okay, as you're at the airplane door and you're ready to jump, it's scary as hell. You may have heard stories of people who have crashed and who have gotten killed, and so as a result, all your stuff comes to the surface, and you don't want to do it. Okay, again, perfectly understandable. But the difference is between the people who succeed and the people who don't. Is those people who are successful feel the fear and do it anyway. Okay, they open themselves up. They take the risk of being vulnerable. And what they often realize is that the risk was so worth it. So I'm going to give you a little homework this week. I want you to step back and look at your life as an observer and really see, are you really giving 100%? Or is there a little piece of you, or maybe a big piece of you, that's holding back? That's afraid of truly opening up again. Okay. Again, we're not talking about logic, because logically you would say, no, I would never do that. I want it so bad. Of course, we all logically say one thing, but as human beings, we are creatures who do everything based on emotions and our unconscious beliefs. So this is a good way for you to see what's really going on. And if you notice that you do have some stuff there, I recommend that you deal with it first. Because it's like a beach ball. If you push it under the surface, it's ultimately going to always pop up and smack you back in the face. So it's simply better just to deal with it and move on. Because once you get that out of the way, and you become truly vulnerable, you'll see how quickly you'll find and attract the right guy, and how he'll want to stay by your side, because that's what he's looking for from his mate. As always, I hope this helps. If you know somebody who can benefit from this, please pass it along. We'll see you next time. God bless.